I'm Tom Ray from Lorenzo's Music, and this is another Lorenzo's Music podcast. And this is a show where I talk with musicians, people that create things for musicians, and also with a spin on open source and technology and things like that, plus Creative Commons. And I have a combination of a lot of that on today's show. So why don't you tell the people who you are and what it is you do?
All right. Who are we?
Who are
well,
we? Yeah.
We are both Sebastians. That's
Okay.
first.
So, yeah, that's our name.
Yeah. So we play as a band called Crash Server. And basically we use live coding. So we'll get more on that later, I guess. Mm-hmm. We code, make music with it, make video with it, live video also. And we, I don't know, we play music with it. Yeah. I don't know if we should get more in details.
Well, and who, introduce yourselves personally too. So who are you and who is the other person?
Yeah, okay. So I'll go first. Yeah. The first Sebastian, I'm from Strasbourg. We both are from France, Strasbourg. I work as a musician, but also I do live VJing, so video improvisation. I've been involved in live coding for I guess 10 years or something like that. What else? No, I don't know. It's difficult to find so many things to tell, but
I'm sure more stuff will come to you as we go on. This isn't just like an intro and then we're done. We'll learn more.
Sure. And pretty involved in open source also. Yeah, since for a while. Yeah, sure.
All right.
I'm the other Sebastian. Also come from.
You're really both named Sebastian?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Exactly.
It's easy to remember.
It was on purpose.
So I also live in Strasbourg in France. I'm a web developer. Make a website, some sort of thing.
You do.
I'm also a guitarist. I play guitar for about 30 years. Musician and all stuff. I also enjoy open source and Linux audio stuff, and
Yeah, that's a big part for both of us. Yeah, sure.
Which is kind of how I learned about you. And also, so I'm going to get started in that. So you have a background playing guitar. You're both developers. Now, as musicians, what made you suddenly get into live coding? What it is you do, and we'll explain more what live coding is too. God, I have so many questions to ask.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you get into live coding?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I should start maybe on this.
Because I rely on you.
Yeah. A little bit for that, yeah. So I always been playing with a SuperCollider for a long time. If people don't know, SuperCollider is like the audio engine, really used in a lot of software. I've been playing for it for a while, before starting live coding actually. And just basically playing with sounds and generative process and stuff like that. Also with my link to video generation, so that goes hand in hand. And I went and I met Samaran from Sonic Pi. Don't know if you're... Yeah, it's
Sonic Pi. No, I don't know.
Sonic Pi.
Sonic Pi is a quite well-known live coding environment. And then I began teaching live coding to children and beginning also playing live and organizing workshops in Strasbourg. And that's
my part.
That's your cue.
Okay.
Yeah. So because I met him in a workshop, he was doing a workshop about live coding, and I go there and say, okay, what's happening? Okay, seems cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we are playing.
And
together.
You guys just kind of got together based on that, or you just made a connection? Like you didn't know each other before this, is what you're saying?
We did not. Oh. No. We met over live coding, and and then we had an opportunity to play a gig, and we went for it. Yeah. And that's the whole story. So why we are called Crash Server, and we could go into that later maybe.
Yeah, okay. So you started teaching live coding. Now, for me, this is what's interesting. So while I learned about live coding because of a submission you did for the Ubuntu Summit music stream, companion stream that I ran just recently. And I had never heard of it before. Once I saw it, I'm like, of course it exists, It's one of those things like, how have I not heard of this? But it was my introduction to it. What was your introduction to it? What was your introduction to go, oh, what's this thing? What's going on there? You know, like what was the first thing? What was your first introduction to seeing or hearing or learning about live coding, really?
I'm not sure the real first time I saw it. I think it was really because live coding can be used for music and also for visuals. And I think my really first performance I saw, I think it was in Budapest, like in 2007, 4 or something like that. And someone playing fluxus and improvising visuals on live coding. And it seemed like really an interesting way to do stuff, like really reactive. It was the main part for me. Like you can change thing on the fly, you can adapt quickly. I don't know if I'm answering the question correctly or if I'm...
I get. So you saw an example of it and was like, and much like me going, what is that? What's going on there?
What's going on? Yeah.
All right. So it was just, you happened to be in a place, saw it was happening. Only yours was, you were saying it was working more for visuals.
Yeah. I think the first time I thought it was, And after that, it's like, it's a rabbit hole because you see that and you can, hey, what's going on? And then you discover that there's a whole scene going on and like different languages, different techniques, and you can apply it to sound and visuals both at the same time. It's a really powerful tool for improvisation. So that got me going. Yeah.
All right, and then so I'm going to go Sebastian on my right, the other Sebastian. You said you had been playing guitar. Now, when you saw what he was doing with live coding, did you also see it as like, oh, I could do guitar with that, or no, I want to do that? Like, I guess how much instrumentation do you still do with this live coding team effort that you guys have?
First when I started looking after live coding, I was more into electronic stuff, and it was more my electronic period.
You went through bending also.
I do circuit bending, like toy bending. You know, when you open up electronic toys, and you different wire and make strange sound. So this was that's another scene, DIY scene, and hacking.
That I've never heard of either. That's also a new one to me. No, I mean, as you explain it once again, I'm going, of course it exists. But
So I was looking for a way to sample this noise and this sound and playing with code. This looks nice, and I just Googled live coding in Strasbourg, and I saw there was a workshop 2 days after, so I go there. Lucky for me.
I didn't know the full story.
The full story was
okay. I love it. You guys are still like, who are you again?
What's going here? All right.
And for the guitar, we use it. We introduced guitar, but maybe 2 years ago we tried to play with my
guitar, live coding with guitar at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Mine sounds good.
Which is something we'll enhance probably in the future. Yeah. For the moment, it's still a question of doing both at the same time can be challenging. How to. That's another question. I don't know. No, I can just talk forever if you want on stuff. But it's
continue. No, I'll just interrupt you when I want to learn something else. So continue to talk. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe we can talk about what's a typical like live coding concerts. What is it?
I was actually going to kind of ask that because so the background would normally be, or at least what I've seen or can relate to, just because the history I have seen of it, is there will be people who will have, maybe they'll set up a sequencer or a loop or something like that. And then they'll play with live instruments off of that, or they'll switch it and they have a button they do. Now, you guys are doing that, except you're writing it in an IDE.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So there's an entirely different thing involved, and there's way more like, talk about juggling. You guys are juggling and doing math. It's basically what it amounts to.
Well, to be honest, the computer does the most of the maths.
Yes, but you still have to. It's like tiny, like you have to put the pieces in the little place there and use the keyboard. Yeah, so there is an added thing involved. It's not just then you let this run and play an instrument, which you can, but. Tell me more about it. Basically, I only have my understanding of watching the video that you sent and then also looking at videos that you've done since I learned about you. So, so tell me about the live setup.
So basically, in our, let's say, minimal configuration, we've got 2 laptops. Each one has a laptop. We connect by network together. And it's like if we write a shared document, like a Google Doc or something, with 2 to write at the same time. So I see what he writes, he see what I write. I can modify what he writes, which also makes some fun situations. But yeah. And then basically every time we write let's say, a musical sentence, we evaluate it, we send it to the audio service, which then produces sounds, right? So that's typically it. We write stuff on and on from a blank page, and then we arrive at music at some point.
And the audio service would be what most people would consider the DAW or the DAW. That's where your sounds are located.
Yeah, that's more or less. We connect. So on the software part. So we use a software which has now been heavily modified by ourselves, but basically it's called Troop, which was Web Troop, which allows a multiplayer to function. We connect it to Foxtrot, which is our Python library to generate, which is a language we use, more or less, the way we code. And that connects to SuperCollider, which is the audio engine, which transforms let's say, the computer code into musical synthesizer oscillators, so that you hear something. Basically, Okay. My explanation is correct.
And that was what doing my research and going down the rabbit hole, that was my understanding of how it worked. But also my main thing is, and then once it's one of those things where once you get it, it's like, oh, of course, and you can't unlearn it. But right now I'm going, but how does one do the other that makes the thing happen, that does the thing? I'm connecting the dots is the part that I'm having trouble with. Like, I get the concept and what each thing does, but I'm like, but how does it know the sound? How does it, like, let's say, for example, and I'm jumping ahead here a little bit to what I wanted to talk about, but so for the Ubuntu Summit, in the beginning, which this part I thought was brilliant for doing not only a live setup, but a video setup, you introduced yourself in the IDE by typing out who you were and what you were going to be doing. And that was great. And you said you were using Ubuntu sound samples, so people might recognize that. Now, that means not only is it generating it, but you were using actual samples that you were triggering and making do things. So it can create the audio much like a MIDI or a synthesizer.
Right.
But it also can use samples itself, and you're able to trigger that. And you're writing that in the code, correct?
Yeah. Basically, we've got, let's say, 4 or 5 audio sources we can use, which are samples, like you said, like pre-recorded audio samples. If they're longer, we just call them loops, but it's basically, let's say, the same thing, just musical patterns.
One shot or loop samples.
Then the most important, I guess, is the synthesizers, which are written in SuperCollider code, which we can call in our software. And then we can specify like notes, degrees, octaves, sustains, release, whatever, and put effects on it, like reverb, distortion, or whatever else. Then what do we have else? Like the text generator, the voice generator.
Yeah, we can generate voice
generator.
Yeah. Also,
tell me about that. What's that do?
So it's basically a text to
speech library.
Okay.
So
all right.
Okay.
So which can be fun in a concert, like if you want to talk to the people in the crowd or something, it can be quite fun. I think that's.
Sorry, I just got this image of because my favorite thing is when bands are on stage and they go, "Could somebody bring me another beer?" Because they can't get off stage. So you guys could be typing in, "Bring me another beer."
It has been done. It has been done, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always just loved that when people do that, and it's like, really, you got like a half hour left. You can survive. Anyway, all right. So, all right. Now, so when you guys are doing this type of stuff, you clearly have to prepare if you're going to be doing something. But do you guys? How do you write songs? How do you go? Okay, here's what we're going to do, or do you just riff it and like keep the ones you like, get rid of? Like, do you have an actual process? Because you have released albums that have songs on them. So you probably reproduce them. I guess tell me the difference between like I get when bands get together, they go, okay, we've recorded an album. Now we have to play it live. And then you go, let's get it right. But it's hard for me to think of that in okay, we're programming it. So I guess.
The process is a bit
too many
different.
questions. Yeah. How do you write a song? Like, go into that one.
Should I go right for?
When we don't write, we write song, but it's mostly we jam.
Yeah, we jam
A lot. We jam twice or
Twice, 3 times a week.
Twice a week,
Yeah.
and sometimes we have something cool and say, okay, that's a song.
Okay.
So,
all right.
so it's improvisation and to become songs.
Yeah, and then after a while, if this part we like it, we, let's say, store this piece of code, and then we can recall it later and just continue working on it. And the code evolves until it gets to a point where we like it. And when we record it, let's say for an album or for recording, whatever, we just play this live and we try to play it the best we can. Yeah. And maybe we do a few takes, but there's no like production really, like classic, like moving sound around and trying to adjust. And so it's always live recorded. Yeah.
I guess, I do, as you're explaining that, I've actually kind of made a distinction, like with what I was talking about before, where most people, like they have a DJ or they have samples or loops, they are able to program it so that it does the exact same thing every time. But you guys are more like jazz in the sense where jazz artists too will be like, okay, we have a thing we do, but then it's going to be kind of like what happens in between, and it's never going to be recreated. So there is a distinction in that sense because you are doing it by hand every time.
Yes. Yeah. Every live concert
using the same. Yeah. Okay.
It's going to be always different. Like,
we use a lot of random and stuff, so it's never the same.
Or we play at a different speed, BPM, or like we played Friday concerts. We played a track we know quite well and played quite a lot of times, and we played it really differently. And it was it was like rediscovering all the time. There are some hooks you always find, and you can but it's different. Yeah.
The code is the same.
The code is the same, but
the way you play is never different. The same.
And because of what you have played before, it can influence what you play after, because there are some variables and some things that has changed. So it's not the same.
It's always chaotic. You have to play with chaos. So
well, I mean, it's, you know what, you can write code a million times and you can still see that it worked, but then when you go back and look at it, you're like, oh, whoops. So it's, of course, it's always the same, but it doesn't mean you did it the same. And sometimes it passes through bug testing, even though it shouldn't. Which that is kind of your thing, the glitches and you guys are passing the buck back and forth. You're saying you can see each other's screen. You're writing in an environment where you can see each other typing. How do you pass that off? Do you guys take turns? Do you go, okay, is it like tennis? You volley back and forth, or do you do stuff at the same time? Like, what's the concept?
A bit of everything, because it's like it's sort of an organic process now. We know each other quite well, and so usually, I write. Let's say I go for some drums or something, and he tries to go for a bass line, and we share the workload, but not in a really organized fashion. No. It's more like it's how we feel it. I don't know.
Sometimes we write exactly the same line.
It happens too.
At the same time and say, okay, no, that's my line.
Yeah, that is really weird. That's really weird. Like,
that's really weird.
At the same second we write exactly the same thing.
It's like,
okay,
what?
That's weird. So it's a disorganized mess, but it's we know each place.
More like feeling you know, okay, what's.
And as I can see exactly, because of some new modifications, I can see exactly what he's writing when I'm writing something. So I can like anticipate he's going to do this, and this count is going to arrive in like a few minutes or a few seconds. I can anticipate and try to synchronize with what he's doing. So it's like, we've got the monitor where the other one is doing also.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to pay attention and at the same time think about what you're doing and listen to what you're doing. Now, when you do it, it's clearly, it's doing it to a tempo. Otherwise, there'd be no rhyme or reason to it. But how do you determine when you make the changes? They don't go live the second you write them because, one, you're writing them, so nothing can be done. It's not completed, and it actually could break what you've written if it pays attention in real time, because as you're writing, you'll write a bracket or something and it'll go, well, that's not closed. And so does it wait for a measure? Do you have a thing? Do you have to tell it how many measures to wait before it implements the change? Like, how does that come about?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So the first thing is when we write a line, like you said, it does nothing until we decide it does something. So we have a combination of keys which sends the line we wrote to the audio server, and then it makes sounds. It waits to the next synchronization of the
clock.
The clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can say wait until like a future
H
clock
bar,
in a time we can decide.
Okay.
Usually 90% is we don't do that. We do it on the moment, on the fly. But sometimes we can, like, especially if we want to prepare like a transition or something, we say, okay, in 64 beats, I want this sound to stop, or I want this to start, or I want this filter to go in effect, or something like that. That allows to do some structuring.
Ooh, that's actually kind of interesting. So you're going along, you're going at a good clip, and then all of a sudden you go, now I want to do a drop, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And the other person has no idea that you were just about to do that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
that
of
happens.
course.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fun. Now, what about different time signatures? Have you guys ever done any strange time signatures like, 11/4 or, things like that? Or do you work mostly in the 4/4 time signatures?
Yeah, I think live we do. Yeah, we do mostly.
For
Not always.
Okay.
Not always, but it's not like time signature. We cannot adjust the time signature, but we can play with polyrhythm
Okay.
really,
All right.
really easily. We can
Yeah.
make some polyrhythm.
Yeah, or Euclidean rhythms or stuff like that. Yeah, polyrhythms. Yeah, indeed. But then live, we mostly play 4 on the floor, I guess.
It depends.
It depends. It really depends, actually.
Depends on the
Yeah.
mood.
It depends on the club. Depends where we play. Depends where it is and how we feel about it. But yeah.
Now, actually, speaking of depends on the club, I realized, so we've been referring to this as live coding. Now, live coding music is a concept, but if you were to go and research it like I did on Wikipedia, the live coding example they give from, I think what they say is the person that invented it, it's like classical piano. And, so there's clearly genres. So now live coding is more like, that's just like saying a band, like live coding is really just, that's the musicians. So what genre of live coding would you say you are? What would you guys actually call your style?
Yeah, we wrote for a while post mayhem live coding, but it doesn't mean anything. It was because of lack of better definition, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. It's still always a complicated question because we go in different directions.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
We can start ambient, go to the jungle, next go to the punk.
Yeah, we had like a Dutch gabber phase for a while. Then we can go hip hop for a while.
Oh, really? Okay.
So yeah, it depends on our mood, and it depends, like always, like playing live is always different because we have to. Yeah, we can also maybe start about it. We started playing in between.
Sorry, I just had a funny thought pop in my head. I'm sorry.
Right.
No, okay. So this is always, I never know if these jokes are going to land because you're in a different country. So you're aware of South Park over there, right? The cartoon South Park?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Have you ever seen the episode where they play Guitar Hero and they get really into playing Guitar Hero as if they're a real live band? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking if you guys were an acoustic version, like there's that one where he goes acoustic and he's just clickety clacking on the guitar and he's not actually hooked up. So you guys, it would just be, if you ever did an acoustic version, it would just be you guys typing in a room. I'm sorry, that was a really long description.
Hey, maybe
yeah, we have we plan to play on a typewriter.
Oh yeah,
machine.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that would be awesome. I would actually really like that.
Yeah, maybe one day. That's
with an amplifier or something and with microphones.
I don't know how, but
always find a way. Yeah.
And so is there a big live coding scene where you are? Are you guys the only people around that do it where you're located?
We're not the only ones.
No.
Okay.
It's there's a small scene, let's say locally in Strasbourg.
Okay.
In France,
in France there is a scene like emerging at the moment, which is really interesting. And then there's Germany, which is Strasbourg is located just near the border from Germany.
Okay.
So there are quite some people doing live coding in here. Since for a while, actually, it's been a big movement in Germany for a while.
Yeah, mostly UK and Germany.
Yeah,
the big scene.
Yeah, in Europe at least. Yeah,
in Europe.
Yeah.
So Strasbourg had a little scene. We have some live coders.
Wow. well, maybe 10.
Yeah, maybe 20. If we're generous, 10 people.
That's
Ten
more
people,
than I
yeah.
know of. That's what I'm saying. It's like this is a brand new thing to me. When I posted a clip of your performance for the Ubuntu Summit music stream, and I was just like, I had never heard of this before, and somebody responded on Mastodon. They're like, "Well, there's a huge scene of it on the Fediverse here," and I'm like, "I'm not surprised. I'm just saying this is the first time I've heard of it."
Right.
So. And the other thing too, so this is what I really liked about that, getting into that performance. So not only was I just super impressed with what you guys were doing, but the video was also just excellent. Your guys' live stream, I guess, do you do a lot of live streaming? Because it seemed like you had a whole setup that was prepared specifically for that. Or did you just do that for the performance that you did?
So we did quite a lot of streams, especially, well, we started just before the COVID. So COVID was our main stage for quite a while. So streaming live in 3D environments and organizing concerts in virtual places. So we did quite a lot of streaming.
Because we can do that, we can do that remote. Just
that's cool,
really
because
cool
we just send code between each.
You guys didn't even have to be in the same room. You're saying?
No, exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys were one of the few musicians that could benefit from performing in different places.
Exactly. Yeah. Still some latencies issues and stuff like that, but mostly doable. Yeah. And to answer for your question, for the setup for Ubuntu, it was mostly.
It was a new.
It was another setup, yeah.
Another setup, yeah.
Not used before, not used after. But
all right.
it uses some tools we use for other live gigs. Yeah.
Like the video we have.
The projected video, yeah.
Yeah, projected video was quite new.
Yeah, it was an alpha 0.001 version.
Okay. Tell me about that. Okay, so my band does live streaming too, and we're always trying to improve our setup, and we're still like, we're better at it now, but it's one of those things where it's like, once you get to that point, you're like, okay, now I can see the flaws, even though you're like, oh, if I could only get it to do this. And then you do, and you're like, well, that's not good enough anymore because I know how it's done. Now I need to do more. And with the projection you were doing, like, what are you using for that? You're saying it's the alpha version, but how are you doing that projection?
Yeah, of this project. But like I think you put a finger exactly on something that has driven Crush Server since the beginning. It's that's always evolving thing. I mean, we're never static. Our setup has changed so many times, and each time we have something, like you said, okay, now it works. Okay, what do we do next, and how do we change it completely? So that's an never-ending quest to something else. So for the visual, especially, we worked first with something running on Windows, which was VVVV. Then we moved to open frameworks for a while, which was
a C++ library, which is open source
and quite more difficult to work with.
Yeah. Right.
And now we migrated to CableGL.
Sounds familiar.
It is like a
web-based visual editor. Nodal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which works well. But we don't always have to. We don't always use it. Sometimes we just show the code to the public, and we don't show visuals. Sometimes we have other tools for the visuals as well. So it always changes. Yeah.
And what kind of? So you are projecting it like it was projecting in front of you and on you guys, like as if you were standing in front of a projector. And like, what kind of camera projector are you using to do that? I mean, I'm really getting down to the, like, what's your equipment?
So,
because my first thing is always like, oh, you do that with a green screen. And it's like, but I hate green screens. They're never big enough. You can always see the cracks in it, or the flaws in like, oh, it's only this big. And then now it's gone sort of frame. So what are you using projector wise? Because I liked that.
So it depends on the situation, but for this particular venue, and it was not really venue, it was my room actually.
yeah.
So nothing special. We just used a wide angle beamer which projected behind us.
Okay.
And a second beamer which projected on the left, like a
black
black and
that
white
little
part.
Square screen with the blips and glitches and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But the whole setup was quite improvised. We were really short on time, so it was like, okay, let's put that here, let's put that here, let's put my video projector on a coffee cup and see if it holds. And...
We also have an analog camera.
Oh yeah,
which doesn't work.
Yeah, there was like an old TV on stage also, which was more or less there. I don't know why,
Right.
but yeah. It was
Yeah,
quite
you had like the coil of Christmas lights or something that was on top of the mannequin head.
which
I liked
serves a purpose actually. That's it, the lights have a meaning for us. Well, they do something.
They react to the CPU.
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
the more your processor is burning, the more the light are glitching.
Yes.
Okay.
And each time he evaluates code, it sends a LED string to the along the LEDs, let's say. So you can see which one is evaluating code at each time. You know, I don't know.
I love that you still, even while you're making music, you still have to do the damn code evaluation.
Yeah. We're used to it now, so
Right. And then when you're done, do you guys have a stand-up meeting and, and go over, do a retrospective? And I'm trying to think of Scrum topics right now. So sorry. Never mind. So
yeah, we do. Usually we do a sort of after how do you say, not an after match, like after a concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do sometimes like, hey, you remember you say you wrote that and that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to write you up for that. That wasn't a pre-approved code that you wrote. And also, with the projectors and all that, now with the videos you make, I really do love the aesthetic that you have. You do go with, as you were saying, like the TV screen. I'm actually redesigning our site that's using the same sort of aesthetic, which is like the cathode ray sort of tube screen, VHS sort of thing. And you do a lot of that in your videos and with the code and all that. Basically, what I'm getting at is, how do you make your videos because they look fantastic?
So many techniques.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. There was so many things. So much stuff. So basically, I don't know if I can say something with basically, but we use sometimes we use like real analog filter TV or stuff like that, like how do you say, VHS, for example. So we really used it, so it's not faked or something like that. For the rest, I don't know. It's lots of. How do we do it? I don't know.
But you're saying that you do actually film some stuff with a VHS camera and then use it and then play it in a television through a VHS player and then record that.
Yeah, stuff like that, yeah.
All right, so there's no like trick or like a factor special filter that you have on some sort of video editor. You're actually doing the effect that people are trying to make.
We have some filter.
In some videos we use the classic how do you say, like montage software,
okay.
And with some filters might happen also.
All right, shoot. All right, I was gonna go like, what video editor of choice do you use and everything, but it's like, no, it sounds like you're like a legit creating it from the ground up.
Now we use quite a lot Cadeo and Live.
We use Cadeo and Live, yeah.
Oh, you do? I'm actually a huge fan of that too. It's like the one that's stuck around. It's the one thing. I actually just had a conversation recently with Eric from the Ubuntu Studio project about that, because I was talking about the history of the video editors, and I've tried so many, and the only one that's become the most stable and actually become the most robust has been Kdenlive. Because I tried so many other ones and just none of them did anything, or they would just crash repeatedly. So
no, it works. It's stable. You did a lot of production last time, so with KDA.
Oh. Yeah. Good. You're the only other people I've run into that use it.
Well, we use also a lot of FFmpeg, basically.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
come on.
just on
which you can write in the terminal and make that do stuff. Yeah. I don't know enough about that stuff to do it. Like, I can use it if I absolutely need to like encode something or re-render something, but if I have another option, I'm going to use Handbrake,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we use it sometimes to generate videos or stuff like that, like take random images, scramble them, put some glitches, put everything together that we can do in FFmpeg, for example.
Yeah, like you have that one video. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now, but it's got faces that kind of swap out in a digital background. I want to say it's the second video on your website, possibly for the music videos. I don't know.
Oh yeah, okay. That I think it.
It's a really old one.
Yeah, it's a really old one. I think.
Was it really old?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Something about the digital identities, like a stolen identity, right? In
I think
green
so.
background. Yeah. So how was that made? I think that was quite a long.
Are you asking me?
That was made, I think, generating faces with AI like a long time ago.
Okay, it was. That's what I was going to ask, because the way they swapped out was so slick, and I was like, "How are you doing that?" Because I was watching it, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. And you might have done that with a VHS camera.
It might have been with FFmpeg and generated faces or something like that, I guess.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I do need to mess around with FFmpeg more. It's one of those things where it's like, do I want to spend my time doing that or just make something the way I know how to make it? But then I see videos like yours and I'm like, oh, that's what I could be doing. Back to that whole thing. Like, sure, I'm editing videos, but I look at yours and it's like, that's better.
we still don't know exactly how it works. FFmpeg is always quite
well, I mean, your background is throwing stuff, trying to break stuff. I mean, that's your MO. That's your I like
that's quite true. Yeah.
So now with making the music and all this kind of stuff, I know you said you were able to do it over COVID from different locations, but what is your studio setup when you do get together? Like, is it really you can just do it anywhere? Do you have a specific spot that you do it in?
Yeah, we play at his place. Yeah, he's got a full setup in place, so we just can plug and play, and it works directly. Which was not always the case for a long while, because it's quite technical to put in place. We had every time we wanted to play it, we had to set it up for an hour or something. It was not so practical. Now we have a full setup, we can just plug and play. So basically it's like a sound card, speakers, we use external pedal effects, like a guitar effects or stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. Really?
Yeah. And it's basically. Yeah.
So you're running those. Now I want to know how you're getting okay. So you're running through your live coding, which goes into the server. How are you using pedal effects? How's that happening? Where is that being put in the
I just an FX. You can say, okay, go through the pedals and go this line. You can output to a different output of.
And then does it loop back in, or that's just what goes into the speaker? Okay, all right. That's what I was confused about. I was only seeing it as one link, like, okay, send it here, but then also send it here, and that's what comes out the speaker. But you're saying it can. All right, you guys are going to make my head explode.
We have 4 outputs. Yeah, so we have a main output, which is stereo, and another output, which is also stereo for the FX. So we have a mixer. A real mixer,
like physical
mixer. So we can adjust the amount of FX we put on.
When you play live shows, do the sound people even know what to do when you're getting set up? Like, I know they'll sit there and you have to listen to the drummer go boom, boom, boom while they said all that. Like, what do they do when you guys hook up? Do you just send them a mix and they're like, okay, sounds good. Like, you control everything. Do they do anything?
Usually we control most, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, we do some checks and they can adjust a little bit. The main parts we have to check always is like the main sound without the FX, and then isolated the FX to see how they mix together correctly. Mm-hmm. So the relative amount of sound on each channel. For the rest, yes, we do some. We have to take care about filtering the sound in live, so we rely more on the equalization on our side than on the technical guys working there.
That makes sense. Yeah.
We have to listen to ourselves more or less.
Yeah, it's so funny. I mean, I apologize to anybody, like any other live coders that are listening to this episode, at my ignorance, just because this is all very new to me. So if I'm asking stupid questions,
no, they're not. They're not. Absolutely not.
Not so stupid.
Good. And then, so coming up, what sort of plans do you guys have? Do you have new releases coming out? Are you just constantly releasing things? Like, what is your process as far as putting out new material and promoting yourself? Great response.
Did you talk about a plan or something? I don't know. The plan.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, we released some albums. The first one, then the second one was more or less a concept album, which played at like really high BPM. So starting at 1024 BPMs,
Really?
which was and then
we finish at 8,000.
8,000, which was the limit a bit. The third one was like old tracks we didn't release, and I think now the next step is like, because our setup has changed so much and we have changed so much, I think the next step is like really making a new album, which is our new version of ourselves, let's say. So we started working on some stuff for the moment, and no exact plans on release date or exact content. But it's going to be quite different.
Maybe in 2 weeks, maybe in 2 years.
Right. We've all been there. Yeah. What about like album artwork and stuff? Do you guys also do that yourself? Do you have artists that you work with?
So we've done everything ourselves for the moment.
Okay.
I think. We could work with other people. I don't know if it's we're open to it. We open to it. That's for sure.
No, I'm open to it too, and I always end up doing it myself because it's like, oh, that's right, we need an album cover. I don't know, maybe I can find some photos or something.
Right.
Maybe I can take a photo of something. Maybe I'll draw something. I don't know.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're thinking you have a new album coming out sometime soon.
Yeah, exactly.
It's in the works. All right. And what about live streaming sessions? How often do you guys still do those?
The streaming on the internet, not so much at the moment. We play quite a lot live.
Also, you guys were actually pretty busy leading up to when I was trying to get the video from you. Yeah,
exactly.
Which I still really appreciate you taking the time to do it. It was so great that you did it.
Our pleasure.
Pleasure.
But it was a bit a full week. We had a few gigs. One in the middle of France, which was quite a long travel to go to, because it's a region in France which is not so well connected to the rest of the whole country. It was really more countryside-ish. So quite some travels and quite some.
And live streaming we do every two times a year. There's a big community of live coding. Exactly. Making non-stop streaming during two or 3 days.
Yeah.
Oh, so like another sort of live streaming event. Where does that take place?
It's
right?
It's Top Lab. It's a Top Lab community. Yeah, which is a big community of live coding.
Is it on like YouTube or like?
It's mostly on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
And on every solstice.
Yeah. Every solstice,
every solstice they're doing.
Okay, that would be that makes sense then. All right. Huh.
It's really interesting to see this because there's every approach of live coding. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
because live coding is not a unified thing, and usually what happens after a while is each live coding starts to make its own software, or at least modify some software.
Right.
So it's really interesting because there are so many branches of live coding, ways to do it. Some are doing like slow coding and just modifying values. Some are starting from scratch. Some are using compositions. Some are using, I don't know, like instruments. Some other, there's really a lot of approaches.
Some are doing also visual live coding because this exists too.
You can, like you said in the beginning, like you were seeing somebody doing the visual live coding, but the mixture of music and visual. Yeah. Damn, I got to look up more live coding stuff. I mean, I'm just fascinated by the whole thing. And it just, every time you guys mention something, I just start thinking about like, oh, that would be like this. And then I'm like, okay, pay attention.
I wouldn't be surprised if for next solstice, I see your name pop up and you do a live gig,
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe. But I do want to thank you so much for talking with me today. Also, thank you so much for being part of the Ubuntu Summit CC Music event that we did. And just for reaching out in general. Like, I'm really glad that I got to meet you guys and learn about you and connect with you guys.
It's cool. It was interesting questions too. So, lovely.